Find yourself in the Beachview area of Pittsburgh? Check out the official pizza of this show, Slice on Broadway, sharing an abnormal obsession with pizza we can relate to. Check them out at sliceonbroadway.com and tell them this show sent you.
This week we talk Sony at Tokyo Game Show and inclusion in games. This week on Boss Battle. Welcome everybody to Boss Battle number 108, a show in which the writers of InsertCoinToBegin.com get together and talk about video games. I'm your host, Bobby F. J-Town. Before we get to the cordon bleu of this chicken cordon bleu of a podcast, let's find out what everybody achieved this week. Chachi, how about you? What did you achieve?
I beat Grand Theft Auto 5 again.
Nice.
I'm taking the exact opposite choices as far as mission goes that I did the last time. There were some that were really hard, and then some that were a hell of a lot easier. Like the Grand Heist. The first time through, I did the giant drill in the tunnel, and that was really hard compared to the Italian job, where you just pull a switch in a tunnel and drive away in souped-up cars. Like, that was a lot easier than the giant drill. So, I don't know. So, yeah, I did that. What else did I do? I got the new Madden. It's irritating the piss out of me. Because I just restarted career mode or franchise mode, whatever they call it now. And because the last time I got drafted, nothing I could do would get me more playing time. Like, I was the second string running back because I love being the running back and just embarrassing people. And, yeah, nothing I could do would get me bumped up or more playing time. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Start over. So this time I'm showing no mercy.
Sorg, what did you achieve this week?
How about Castle of Illusion?
Nice.
Mickey Mouse?
It was 99 cents on the iPhone for Labor Day.
That is a classic.
So why not?
Mickey Mouse?
It's the new version. It's that 3D version. I played the demo. It's like exactly like the demo I played on the Xbox. So, but cool platformer for the iPhone. Definitely recommend it. It might still be 99 cents. I'm not sure if you have a chance. Go check that out. I think it's only a couple bucks. But again, if you like platformers, nice, mindless fun. And other than that, just a lot of super card, WWE super card. I just got a super rare Sergeant Slaughter. Who's
I got that one too.
Who is an Iraqi sympathizer, and now I feel like I betrayed my country with my deck.
Iraqi
question.
sympathizer.
Mm-hmm.
When you say Castle of Illusion, are you talking about Mickey Mouse?
Yes.
Okay, I was just making sure there wasn't another one.
That was the HD re-release?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I was just making sure there wasn't another one.
The HD 3D re-release that they did, Castle of Illusion. Let me double check if it's still on sale, and it's across the board iOS, I believe. It's typically $10, guys. It's 99 cents. It's still 99 cents as of this recording.
Not bad.
So, awesome.
If you have an iPhone, check that out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and from our Facebook group, Matt Carlin said he's been playing Star Trek Trexels and Star Wars Commander on his iPhone. He likes them, and he's kind of stalled on both, but he hopes to level up soon on those. And friend of the show, Evangelistico, played Mario Kart and Pokemon. And Riz said since he was killed off, he finished Dark Souls 2 and then started his journey in the DLC, and he also got Madden.
I would just like to point out that I dug up his box and I put holes in it.
Oh, good.
And then I buried it again. So there's about 20 minutes.
Wait. If you put holes in the box and then buried it again, he doesn't have air still.
Well, no. Oh, come on. That's my fault?
No, it's not your fault. I mean, he deserves it.
Right. So, yeah, there's a lot of screaming as I was putting the drill through the box. But, I think he's still buried alive.
Welcome to Morbidcast, everybody. Also from the chat, Tony Garza has been playing Tentacles, Enter the Mind. It's a fun game. He reached level 100. And Tiny Death Star. And Matt Carlin's, we already got his. So, and I've I've been playing Batman Arkham Origins. I went back to it. I got the game around Christmas last year, and I didn't get to play it, so I'm finally starting to pick that up. And I got up to Deathstroke. Couldn't get past Deathstroke, so yeah, I achieved that. And also, I downloaded Dishonored too, even though I already owned it for PS3 because it was free on Xbox.
Awesome.
So, all right, Chachi, you want to take us around the net?
Oh, wait, did you get through all the tweets?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My apologies. I missed it. Chachi!
Video game themed things from around the internet.
Net.
So, all right. So let's get to. Let's start with the runners-up as per normal. Riz tweeted last week. I don't know how he has internet in his buried box, but the guy does a lot online. He tweeted this Amazon. I think Amazon. No, just a regular ad for what's called a bad plumber's mate costume for 20 England style dollars. And it's basically a generic Waluigi. Same color, same outfit. Just no white circle with a W or upside down L on the hat. So, yeah. That is incredible. I like that it's called Bad Plumber's Mate. It sounds like something with a lot more butt crack. Next up, if you're into space games, there's a Kickstarter, and I'm going to have to fix the link because apparently it's not up anymore. There's a Kickstarter where you can order or help fund a cardboard cockpit. So essentially, they send you a box full of other box parts, and you assemble it kind of like Lincoln Logs. And it's
I love Lincoln Logs.
It's a full-on cardboard cockpit, so you can feel like you're in the video game more.
I want to play with Lincoln Logs right now.
All right, and let's get to the cordon of the cordon bleu of this post.
I'm never gonna live that one down.
Nope.
No, you're not. So I was discussing Madden with Riz because, like I said, he has great internet in that box. It's so weird. And he said, and I quoted him, says no real glitches yet in regards to Madden. And so as of this morning, there is a huge glitch in Madden 15 Ultimate Team Mode. So huge, actually, I should say small glitch, in which a defensive linebacker from the Tennessee Titans measures in at 1 foot 2 inches tall.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can tell in the video, his gameplay is completely normal. He's just really, really small while doing it. and it's this is a gamer's YouTube video of it. The guy who does the video is actually pretty funny. But in the frozen screen on the in the post, you can see he only comes up to the guy's shin.
Is it the video as good as the Darren Sharper Greg Jennings video?
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Oh my gosh! If you have ever seen it, search Madden, Greg Jennings, Darren Sharper on YouTube. It's amazing.
I'll have to check it out.
Probably one of the best Madden gameplay commentary videos ever.
Although I'm not gonna lie, I'm going to be 100% honest when I say that the main reason I bought Madden is because of their Kevin Hart commercial. The Kevin Hart Franco commercial video that I posted a couple weeks ago is definitely a huge factor in why I bought the game.
Nice.
That, and I'm waiting to see Riz so I can smack him. Yeah.
And bury him in a box.
Yep.
Without holes.
But next up, the Game Theorist, as you know, I'm a huge fan of them on YouTube. They posted a game theory video in which they showed mathematically and historically how World of Warcraft gamers will save the economy. And you know what? I know it's just a theory, but I definitely see it as being feasible. He points out that it's the gamers that fix the in-game economy in Warcraft by using real-life economic theory that Blizzard takes into effect and stops inflation from happening in the game. So it's only a matter of time before these gamers get hired by Fortune 500 companies to do the same thing. So it's a 12-minute video. So it put away some time, but definitely watch it. And if you feel like you don't understand economics, don't worry. He explains it. No, it's laid out so that anyone can understand what he's talking about in the video.
What is economy?
Yeah. And last but not least, also via Riz, because I said he's got some great internet. It's a game trailer or a movie trailer for the movie Pong. And it has everything that a typical movie trailer has. It has explosions and high points and low points, and you don't really find out until the end that it's for Pong.
In a world where balls fly at sticks.
Yeah, right. But 48 seconds long, definitely worth checking out. And you can go over to insertcointobegin.com for the video game themed things from around the internet. Post that I put up every Tuesday. Back to you, Bobby.
All right, it's time to get to some things you should be made aware of. First is some news bits here. There's a new RPG coming out for PC. It's called Hardland, and it lets you control an army of chickens. Okay, it's being brought to you by a company called Mountain Sheep. They're from Finland. They're usually known for their mobile titles, but they're bringing this game to, it's like a sandbox RPG. They're bringing it to PC as a very unique visual style. And here's the premise. You wake up in a strange land ruled by the peculiar elder king. Big changes are happening all over the world, and it's rumored the king who has ruled for 1,000 years is dying. His minions have been dispatched to find a cure. You can try to help, or you can do whatever you wish. This is your story. So it sounds like you don't have to actually play the main story. You can do pretty much whatever you want, so that sounds pretty cool. But you get to control an army of chickens, so there's that. Do you guys think you'll be picking this up for PC? Does it sound interesting to you?
Curious. Maybe a Steam sale.
It's on the Steam's Greenlight, so it's definitely going to Steam.
I don't really PC game anymore, and that's not gonna help me come back.
Yeah.
It just seems like everyone's jumping on this goat simulator thing, and it's not working very well because I mean.
It's an interesting premise.
No one wants to control an army full of chickens. Although everyone will buy the game because you control an army of chickens.
Somebody will. Somebody will. Chicken enthusiasts.
First off, I don't think that's really a thing.
Don't make me Google search this.
Secondly, I kind of want you to Google search it, especially non-safe search.
It kind of sounds like a crossover between Fable and Legend of Zelda.
Chicken enthusiast Chicago.
You gotta be kidding me.
Google groups, Google sites, Los Angeles urban chicken enthusiasts. Chachi, you made it happen, man.
Gonzo from the Muppets is part of the chicken enthusiast club.
The ultimate one.
This is so weird. Anyhow, no. Just no. It doesn't need to be a thing.
We're going to move on to our next story.
Please.
Sony is not the only company, or not Sony. Nintendo is not the only company that's getting involved in these Elseworlds Dynasty Warriors style games.
Okay.
Sony announced that Dragon Quest Heroes is coming. That is going to take the characters and various villains from Dragon Quest and put them in a Dynasty Warriors style game. I'm not too big of a fan of the Dynasty Warriors style of gameplay, but I love Dragon Quest. I love Legend of Zelda, so this might get me into that franchise. What do you guys have any thoughts on this?
Not into the dragon. Well, it's interesting because the Dynasty Warriors. I mean, the hack and slash of it is fun. It's not my number one. I'm really curious and interested in a Zelda version, and I think that's it. I think this is not for Dynasty Warrior enthusiasts. This is for Dragon Warrior and Zelda enthusiasts. Enthusiast is my word of the night. I'm sorry now.
Yeah, and chicken enthusiasts.
And chicken enthusiasts. We've learned so much tonight from video games. No, I think it's going to serve that. It's going to serve that, crowd. Sure.
And Sony also announced they're going to release a Metal Slime themed PlayStation 4 console in Japan to commemorate Dragon Quest Heroes. So that's pretty cool. I love me some slimes. They're cool. So all right. And our next story. They announced for Destiny, since it's coming up. I know you guys are excited for Destiny to come out here.
Mm-hmm.
You can explore Mars, Venus, and Earth's moons on Bungie's Destiny in Google Maps Street View style.
Wow.
They on their website, it's destinyplanetview.com. You can explore the planets before the game is released, and it uses like a Google Street View kind of program that goes through and looks at the planets before you can play the game, which I think is really cool of them to do. I mean, you can explore before you can explore.
That's awesome.
I grossly misunderstood what was happening with that.
Why?
Like, I thought they were just putting up like Google Street Maps of the planets or moons themselves.
No. They're on the game.
This is all BS. Especially if there's an American flag on the moon. All right.
There could be cars on the moons. Who knows if they have Google Street View or not?
That's awesome. So basically, I mean, what they're doing is actually technically very easily. They've already made this engine in 3D. Mm-hmm. They're putting a camera in it. They're rendering a 360-degree photo stitched together thingamajiggy, throwing it up in an interface that's like Street View, and here you go. That's awesome.
It's very on rails, but it's a taste of what's
Street View.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, essentially what they're doing is they're putting in. It's just. First off, yes, it's just Street View, and secondly, it's just the game without any characters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, and the fact that you can't go in buildings. I mean, that's all it is. It's just opening up the game, but removing all of the gameplay.
You know what this is? For those that got Nintendo Power,
it's a genius marketing.
The greatest thing about the greatest thing about Nintendo Power is when they take the maps from a level, like they took screenshots and laid them out so you knew exactly what the level was, and you could see little parts of Mega Man's throughout the level. Right? There's a book they released that was just those levels from all the games, all of the major games.
I used to draw levels like that.
Exactly, right? I would like play the game in my head as I go through because I couldn't afford them. But I could get Nintendo Power, Yep. This is today's Nintendo Power level, scoop thing, like they did back then. For the new generation, for 3D, for 3D games.
It's great marketing for a game that everybody's already excited about.
Oh, tremendous. And you can hop in there.
You're talking to the guy that has the entire Legend of Zelda map hanging on this wall next to his Master Sword.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm in.
Nice.
All right. Tokyo Game Show was today, and Sony kicked it off with their big press conference. They announced a few things. They announced Phantasy Star Nova, which is RPG, Samurai Warriors Chronicle 3, a few firmware updates to the PS4, They showed off. Yeah, exactly. They had a special Destiny trailer and a video message from the Bungie CEO. Assassin's Creed Unity was also talked about. A whole bunch of games. They announced a new Hot Shots Golf, which was surprising. I don't know if that's going to be just in Japan or if it's coming to the United States or not. But I was excited about that announcement. Do you guys remember Hot Shots Golf? Do you have any fond memories of playing Hot Shots Golf?
No, I remember hearing about it. Definitely one I wanted to check out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's cool. It's coming back.
I had it for PSP as well. That's how much I was addicted to it, and it was one of those you hit the button again, hitting the button again to hit the ball. So that was fun. They also showed off a little bit more of PT, which is the teaser for Silent Hill. If you haven't heard about that,
cool.
And go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, they also showed off some Resident Evil Revelations 2 and Yakuza 0, which is going to be set in 1988. That's going to take the Yakuza franchise back in time. And a few other ones are like Dragon Ball Xenoverse and stuff like that. So good start to the Tokyo Game Show, or Tokyo Game Show, and hopefully they'll get some more stuff on the way.
Awesome.
All right. And do you guys remember Super Meat Boy?
I have Super Meat Boy. It's one of those, I don't know when I got it in a bundle or a sale or something, but it's like one of the games that every time I install Steam on a computer, because it runs on everything, I put it on the computer. It's on this computer. It's on this computer. It's even on some of the ones down here in the studio, just because it's fantastic and featured on the indie game, The Movie.
Yes, they're one of the only groups on that movie that didn't annoy the piss out of me. No, honestly.
Yeah, they seem like really nice people, too.
The one guy, yes, he annoyed the crap out of me. But the other half of the duel didn't really bother me all that much. The guy who made Braid annoyed the crap out of me. And we all know my feelings on Phil.
All right, well, they announced earlier in the year that they were working on another game called Mugenics. They said that game actually got too big, so they're going to delay that one and push out the game that they were working on after that one, which is called Super Meat Boy Forever. It's a spiritual sequel to Super Meat Boy. It is an endless platformer. It's the game is going to be randomly generated as you play the game. It's going to be available for mobile and PC via Steam, and I can't wait for this game because I think it's going to be amazing. If it's anything like Super Meat Boy was to begin with, we're going to be playing this game a long time, and I hope it's as hard as it was back then too. What do you guys think?
No, I don't buy it. No, I don't buy it. No, this is a money grab, which is fine. They're allowed to.
They said it's not a little iOS throwaway game. So they said it's a brand new game, and it's going to change as you play.
Yeah, no, I don't buy it. I just think that no, I don't buy it. They're kind of starting to sound like Phil Fish. As far as pushing back a game because it's simply too big. Like, I understand that programming and designing and laying out an entire game isn't the easiest thing in the world. I get that. I respect the work. Obviously, when I shell out my hard-earned dollars to buy the games. I don't go out and steal these games. I put down money for them. They get the money, and I mean, there's a mutual respect there. However, Phil Fish was winning awards for 5 years before Fez was released because it simply got too big.
Yeah. So
I mean, at this point, they're just wrongly trying to boost up the hype. That's my 2 cents. I just no.
I'm just excited for more Meat Boy though. I like Meat Boy. He was fun.
It's a fun platformer.
Yeah. All right, and tying in with our final battle question, which is, hold on one second, I gotta find it. Are games becoming more or less intrusive? A letter went out today. Over 600 game developers and publishers have offered their signatures to an open letter aimed to end hateful speech and harassment within the games community.
Mm-hmm.
The letter was written and published by indie game designer Andreas Zecker, best known for his work in indie outfit Spaces of Play. Do you guys think this is great? I think this is great. Of course, you would think this is great. Do you think games have become more inclusive?
No. I enjoy the rampant machismo by 12-year-olds and
Hold on.
homophobia that happens on a Call of Duty game on average.
Hold on. Time out. Blow the whistle. So let me see if I'm understanding this correctly. 600 developers got together and said...
Actually, now there's an update to the story. Over 2,000 game developers and publishers have offered their signatures to the letter.
Okay.
So that's great.
Hold on, Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I understand this correctly. Because, of course, I didn't go and read the story beforehand.
Okay.
What you're trying to tell me is that there's over 2,000 game developers over there who are whining because people are mean on the internet.
Well, it's just getting everybody.
Yes or no question, Bobby.
Pretty much, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know if it's within the community or if it's outside of the community.
All right. So what you're further telling me is that there's another 2,000 game developers that are acting exactly like Phil Fish.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
No. I don't think so. I think they're just trying to get this, like with the controversy that just happened, with the one person with the Kotaku thing. I think they're trying to get that curtailed.
Wait, I'm confused. Maybe I didn't read this right. Is this for like the violence, or not the violence threats and everything against developers?
I think so.
Or are we talking about the interactions aimed at hateful speech and harassment within the games community? I
think it's against anybody in the games community.
Okay, so
I think that could be players.
I think it's two different things. I think the one problem is people rag on. If I'm reading this right, I'm just kind of skimming over this article. So one side is I'm a games developer and probably worse is I think I see some of these. I'm a woman in the games community as a game developer, which is like there's not too many of those guys, right?
Yeah.
Which is the first problem. Like computers,
they're
computers,
trying to make
technology,
it
science, video games. There's not a lot of women, and we're trying to change that in education, of course.
Yeah, they're making it more inclusive for everyone.
But they get there, they work on a game. Somebody has some problem with the game, and they're going to find them on Twitter and harass their family, apparently, according to this article. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a general community. That's a culture freaking problem. Where that's not so much the idea of little kid talking trash on Call of Duty, which also I think is a freaking problem. And I think that's a community that needs to police itself. But this is like people on Twitter, people on and these communities. What are we talking about? Are we talking about message boards? Or are we talking about Twitter? Are we talking about Facebook? Right? Each of those have their own anti-abuse policies. Right? And unfortunately, like it has to be a case on case basis, or to the point where somebody makes a threat as bad as it looks like was done here and says, no, we're going to contact the authorities. The problem is, and this is where, your Google Plus is where they say, no, you have to have an identity. Unfortunately, they're rescinding that now. These people behind these supposedly maybe anonymous, avatars are saying horrible, horrible things. And I think it's one thing if it's happened on a 4chan somewhere. It's another thing if it's happening publicly on Twitter and it's a harassing thing. We actually know somebody that went through something like this on Twitter to the point where they had to block, privatize, everything like that. It sucks, and unfortunately, if you're in the video game industry, you are a public figure to a point. that can be targeted by this. And it's an unfortunate thing. As you find some sort of success that a lot of people consume, this is something that happens. Some people seem to deserve it, like a Phil Fish, but some people are just developers,
Yeah.
and maybe don't have an overall problem with, overall issue with the, or hand in how a product came out, as big as some of these games are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, that's my take on what I'm perceiving this story.
Like, just because somebody's a woman, somebody's gay, they shouldn't be not included in the gaming industry,
And as far as
it's for everybody.
As far as inclusive versus non-inclusive, we have these bad apples, and they seem like there's always going to seem like there's more than there actually are, always, because they're the loudest ones, always. But we have such great initiatives like the Gamer Gamer conference that's happening, that we've been talking about over months, year maybe. Like, those are happening, and they are talking about these exact kind of issues. But unfortunately, it's bigger than the video game community. It's a society thing, and I'm sorry, you go to some places in America and they're kind of 10 years behind everybody else.
Yeah, pretty much.
It just when you go to the country and people of different racial things are those such and suches. Like, that's common conversation. I heard it this weekend amongst people, just going to the country. And it's not even that. And I don't think it's intentional, but some people don't know that that's a difference. You know what I mean? And some people are around that, and that goes through, or some people just ignorant and stupid, and this is what comes out. It's a bigger issue than any of this, but I'm glad that there's a conversation about it.
Yeah, it's at least the conversation starting about it.
Yeah.
Now that you're off your soapbox, first off, I would just like to reiterate the part of your rant where you stated that the issue is much bigger than one industry. So 2,000 game developers isn't going to make a difference.
But at least it's a start, though. It's getting them to talk about it.
Considering there are 7 trillion people on the planet. No, it's not a start.
But they're saying
you're talking 0.0005% of the population signed a piece of paper saying that, hey, this is wrong. And I agree it's wrong to go on Twitter and threaten someone's family just because you feel like paying $60 for a game you didn't like is wrong. But that's not... yes, it's society's problem, and it sucks that we have to deal with it as society's problem. But that's something that person should handle with Twitter. As far as, because I mean, in the past month alone, you have the very nice gaming lady, whose ex-boyfriend started all this shit. You have the poor kid in Missouri. Was it Missouri? Yeah, in Missouri. You have both sides of that. You have the people who are on the side of the kid who was shot and killed, bashing the government and that police officer with death threats. And then you have the people who are on the side of the police officer bashing that poor kid's family with death threats.
Well, that's not a gaming issue, though. I mean, they're just trying to focus in on...
that's my point.
Yeah.
Well, they're just trying to contain it within their community.
Comment maybe to go along with that, Chach, from John says, well, there is a troll culture, and if you tell people where your buttons are, then there's a group that will set out just to push it. So there's that. But I don't know, it's a bigger issue. Again, even with the horrible stuff that happened, in the cases you were talking about, it's furthering the conversation and showing, hey, there is a problem. So when you have, God, we're getting a bigger conversation here. But when you have politicians say, hey, there's no racism in this country. Yeah, okay. Moving on.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. You can follow us on Twitter on @InsertCoinTV. You can visit us on insertcointobegin.com. New articles going up daily. And you can join us live each and every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on live.sorgatronmedia.com. Special thanks to Michael Allen, Mike Allen at Mike Allen PR, for helping with the notes and the tweets all night. For @Sorgatron, @Chachi Says, I'm @BobbyFJTown. Game over.